Hi there folks, it's Jonathan Denwood here from WP-Tonic, and in this video I'm going to be talking about all the different type of hardware that you need to produce your first videos for your first course. Be back in a few moments. Welcome back. So I'm going to be talking about all the kind of hardware and things you need to consider when it comes to video. Now, don't worry. One of the good things is that in 2021, the actual cost of the hardware has gone down considerably. And with just a basic computer setup with some basic equipment, the kind of quality that you could get now compared just a couple of years ago is amazing at literally 1/6 of the cost. So it's a great time to be producing video for your courses. Now, I'm going to start with kind of slightly back to front. I'm going to start with sound. That's right. Yes, we're talking about video, but the truth of the matter is most people, as long as the information in your video is top notch and they're getting something from your course, they're quite prepared to put up with semi-mediocre video. But what they're not prepared to put up with is bad sound quality. If you want to make sure that people bail out from your course, just give them bad sound quality. And the truth of the matter is there's no need for it. So the good news is to get good sound quality for your videos, you can obtain that by just spending slightly below $100 for a quality mic. Now, I've got my show notes here, and I just had a quick look, and the main there's two main categories. There's dynamic and what they call condenser. We're probably going to be talking mostly about condenser. Now, condenser mic works when it's reasonably close to the person speaking, and it doesn't pick up too much background noise. Now, the one I use the most is the Audio-Technica AT2005 USB. Now, I'll be having all the links in the show notes underneath this video, plus there's a link to a much larger article that goes not only into the hardware, but all the other training resources that are best on the internet that will help you produce your first course. It's a great article. Now, like I say, the Technic, I actually use the Technic myself. I use either the next mic I'm going to be talking about or the Technic. And like I say, the Technic you can get between $70 to $90 normally. And it's USB. That means if you've got a Mac or a PC, you can just directly link the mic to your PC or Mac, and the video recording software that you're going to be using. And you can use a free version of Zoom to do that, and it will record the sound for you. And actually, the compression technology that Zoom uses is pretty good. The next one is the Blue Yeti. The particular one is the Blue Yeti Nino, which is their mini version. Now that can run from $80 to $120+ depending on which model you buy. They've been producing mics for podcasting and for video production for a number of years. Some people like them, some people don't. I'm in the middle. Some people say you don't get very good sound quality. That's normally because they do have about 3 different settings, which you don't get with the Technic. The Technic, basically, you have just one setting. With the Blue Yeti, you got about 3 to 4 different settings, and it's about looking on YouTube, and there's loads of advice about how you set these settings in the right way to get the best sound quality for your training video. But if you don't look at those videos, it's quite easy to set it up in a way that will mean you will not get great quality. The next one on my list is the HyperX Solarcast. That's a bit of a mouthful, isn't it? But it's a mini kind of mic. It's just come on the market recently. The good news is that there's a host of new mics that have recently come on the market that have reduced the price of being able to purchase a really quality mic that gets superb results using USB. Those prices have actually gone down recently because there's been a whole new set. And this one I'm particularly recommending to you is that one of this new host of providers that have been entering the market. And it has put pressure on Blue Yeti and other suppliers of mic like Sean and some of the other more recognizable brand names. So it's a superb time to be on the market to buy a good quality mic. And in general, I would suggest that you only need mics that use the USB interface. It's the most easiest. It really works with Zoom really quite easily. Now let's go on to cameras. Now cameras, you basically got two pathways to go here. Either you use a webcam or you use a digital camera. For this video, I'm using a digital camera. But before we go through those two fundamental choices, there's another thing you've got to be aware of. Are you going to record in 4K? Now, if you go on to a lot of YouTube channels that specialize in advising people on YouTube blogging and video blogging or video recording in general, they will say that you will get more recognition from YouTube if you do your videos in 4K. This is totally true, but it's only true when you start getting from over the 5,000 subscriber threshold, where that is an artificial threshold that YouTube puts into place, where they will allow you to commercialize your YouTube channel, i.e. you can get YouTube to put adverts in your videos, and you can monetize your video, i.e. make money from YouTube. Obviously, if you only got 5,000, even then you won't be making a lot, but it's the start. Now, when you get over that threshold and you're starting building 10, 20, 30, 40, 50,000 subscribers, you're probably going to be in competition with a lot of other similar size YouTube channels in your particular niche sector. Then that might be the time to look at 4K. Now, the problems with 4K is the bandwidth is multiplied double the bandwidth. And what that means is you mean that you need a lot more powerful computer. You will need modern method of connecting that computer. Transferring the files up to YouTube is going to take a lot longer. The equipment that you will need and the time it will take to edit and the kind of editing software and computer that you will need will be in a totally different ball game than your normal video high definition, which I'm doing at the present moment. I feel that when you're starting off, this is totally unnecessary. So I would just stay with normal high definition video. Now, like I say, the other two things you've got to consider, am I going to do this on using a webcam, or am I going to invest some more money into a digital mirrorless camera? Now, for the first 2 to 3 years where I was actively doing quite a bit of videos, I was actually using an external webcam from Logitech that cost me $40. And I still have it. And the actual video quality from it is really very surprising. I.e., it's really good. Now, you don't need, one thing that you mustn't really use unless you're literally broke is don't use the camera that comes with your, if you're using a laptop to record on, don't use the inbuilt webcam, especially on a Mac. You know, Macs, I love them, I use them. But the truth is that when it comes to their webcams, they are well poor, basically. And you also get that with a lot of the cheaper laptop PCs. So if you are going to buy a webcam, and the Logitech do have a good range of webcams that can get surprisingly good quality, especially when your lighting situation isn't superb. And that's another thing you've got to take into consideration if you're going down the digital camera route. You're going to need a tremendous amount of additional lighting to get reasonable results. As I'm taking this video, if I showed you the amount of light that I've got around me, you would be surprised, basically. And I'm using a very expensive lens, which still requires an enormous amount of additional light. You won't have all that if you use a webcam. And like I say, if you're not going to go down the 4K route, you'd be able to buy a webcam from Logitech, let's say between $40 and $90, and you will get surprisingly good results. They do some other on their pro level, which will be in the supporting show notes. They do some webcams that are well over $100, getting close to $200. That they're normally because they produce 4K video quality, and also they offer some green background and some other stuff, which I don't think for the additional money is worth buying. If you're going to go down the 4K route, you should be looking, in my opinion, looking to buy a digital camera to do that with. You're going to have a lot more flexibility if you decide to do that. So let's go on to the digital camera. These are mirrorless cameras in 2020-21. You don't have to utilize the mirrorless camera. You can use a digital camera that has mirror, and they will probably on the lower end of the range of the camera manufacturer. They'll probably be cheaper, but mirrorless just sort of tends to offer better quality and more flexibility. Now, I'm using a Canon M50 to record this. It is a really good basic digital camera that you can obtain for around $600 with the kit lens. And you can, there's a load of tutorials showing you how to set it up. I'm going to do a separate video about how to set it up and my experience of it later on. Another one, I'm looking at my notes, it's a new one. It's come up in the last 6 months. It's the Sony ZV1. Sony's also really popular when it comes to YouTube blogging and utilizing them for videos for courses. The Sony, there's two particular ones. This is the newest one. They tend to be a little bit more expensive than the Canon. The M50 is the best value you're going to get. These Sonys are around $700, $800. Sometimes you can get it with the kit lens. So that's them. I want to point out though that what you've got to be prepared for is you're going to need more lighting. And the other thing is the kit lens will not work for you. You won't get this type of quality that you're seeing at the present moment with the Canon kit lens or with the Sony lens. You're going to have to go out and buy. I've got a Sigma lens here, 16mm on this. The lens almost costs more than the camera. So, and I tried a lot of other alternatives. With the Canon, you can buy an adapter, so you can utilize all the lenses, all the previous lenses that worked on Canon cameras that had mirrors. Like I say, this is a digital mirrorless camera, and it has a very limited range of lenses that will actually fit the housing. But you can buy a really cheap adapter, the Canon, or there's a number of reasonably good quality third-party adapters around $40 to $50. And by putting that adapter on, you can use a host of secondhand lenses that you could look at that could be cheaper than the one I bought. But the Sigma 16 is the one that is recommended by all the top YouTube video bloggers, and it is a superb lens if you're going to use it for this type of work. So I do highly recommend it. Now, finally, editing. What are you going to use for your editing? So, you know, there's iMovie on the Mac. Also, Microsoft have their own basic free film editing software. Both work fine, start you off. You can use, like I say, Zoom to actually record the video, and it does a really good job, but you are going to need some software to edit it. So like I say, you could use iMovie, or I forgot what the one is on the PC, but it's also freely available, and that they will start you off. Now, if you want to move up a little bit, the one I use Screenflow to do a lot of my post editing of my videos. It's Mac only. It's a couple $100 to buy. There's no monthly charge. A lot of people have heard of Adobe Premiere, superb. The problem with that is that Adobe are quite greedy in my mind, and you have to buy it, and it's on a monthly charge basically. So I would try and avoid that unless if you've got access to the suite that they provide, and you're using that subscription anyway, you might as well just use Premiere. But if you're not, Screenflow is an excellent choice. Now the next one is, but it's Mac only. That's the problem. Camtasia is the next one. Camtasia and Screenflow have been kind of competing with one another for a number of years. Camtasia is just as good. It's also Mac and PC. It is, I think it's like $20, $30 more on average, but they both do great jobs. So if you are a PC and you're looking for a good screen editor, you could go a lot wrong than Camtasia, basically. Now, if you're looking for the next level up and you are a Mac like I am, I think Final Cut Pro is great value. The reason is it's $300, but you just cough up the $300. And then for 5, 6, 7 years, in the end, they will probably ask you to update, which is going to cost you money. But for a substantial amount of time, that will be your only financial cost. But unfortunately, it only works on the Mac. So if your PC, there are a couple other providers. Davinci make a range of commercial cameras, video cameras, and other high-end equipment, but they also do some excellent video editor, Davinci something it's called, and it's totally free. You can go to the Davinci website, download it, and it will work on a PC, and like I say, it's totally free. Otherwise, it's Premiere, and that's Adobe, and then you have, if you haven't got other Adobe tools like Illustrator, Photoshop, so you're not part of their monthly charging scheme. It's quite expensive just to get Premiere. So Davinci might be something for you to look at. So I'm going to wrap up this video. If it's been useful, can you subscribe to the channel? It really does help the channel. Give us a thumbs up. That really helps as well with people being able to find these videos. You got any comments, just put them underneath the video. It's great to get feedback. Hopefully you found this really useful. Like I say, there's a further article with the link that's going to be part of the show notes that would take you to a larger article on the WP-Tonic website that goes into even more detail about how the different things, the different resources out there that will instruct you how to lay out, plan your first videos for your first course. It's a great resource as well. So go click on that link and go to the WP-Tonic website. There's a ton of other resources for the course maker on the WP-Tonic website. I'll see you soon. Thanks. Bye.